It's me, it's the Analyst of Anarchy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome all of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for September 28th, 2018, as we head into the fall. Now, first things first, I'm mainly just going to cover the main points of the weekly show reviews, and I'm going to save the whole gist of the weekly show reviews for tomorrow, because tomorrow the special edition Storm Stream returns with special guest Nathan Heitz. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Follow him on Twitter at Nate, N-A-T-E _HEINTZ. He's probably going to be mad at me for mispronouncing his name. But regardless, I want to talk about an event that took place not that long ago, which I was at, RescueMania 2. I want to talk about RescueMania 2 for a minute because Christopher Ford, a.k.a. Crowbar, whom I've interviewed on this channel before in the Eye of the Storm, the second Eye of the Storm, back in the middle of August before SummerSlam, he's a creative genius. He has created RescueMania. He created the first one. He's created the second one. He's doing a third one as well. He's been producing these wrestling shows, and these wrestling shows are very fun for people of all ages, and it's really just become a fun part of my wrestling fandom life. And I wanted to specifically talk about this event, mainly because, one, I was at it, and it was a great event. Great matches. I got to see Super Crazy wrestle. Crowbar was there. Adam Payne, shout out to him. Sebastian Cage, also, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite independent wrestlers. Gunner Trash, great guy. I interviewed him. Hopefully we'll be able to get him down for another Eye of the Storm. Hopefully. It was also Bright Lights Jared Foster. I met Bull James. I remember Bull James, a.k.a. Bull Debsey from NXT. There was a match between the Patriot and Adam Payne versus the Heavenly Bodies, which was very entertaining. But the most interesting thing happened before the show. Me and the posse, the DJ Storms posse, we were walking into the gymnasium where the ring was set up. And out of nowhere, this one guy who was going to be announcing the matches, one of the announcers, and I saw him at the first WrestleMania, but I didn't really have any affiliation with him. I didn't really know who he was. I didn't really talk to him. I barely knew the guy's name. I think his name was Michael. Now I know him, but before I just knew him as Michael. But he came up to me, he goes, DJ Storms, and, I shake his hand, I'm like, wow, you actually know who I am. And we were talking, he was saying that, he liked my video, one of the videos from WrestleMania, the WrestleMania pre-show, which took place in the streets of Rutherford, New Jersey during the Rutherford Fair. Turns out he's the one that commented on that video, Michael Zarek, I think his name is. He's probably going to watch this. He's probably going to be angry at me for mispronouncing his name. But he came up to me, very, very chill guy, very down-to-earth guy, very nice guy. We shook hands. He was telling me about that, and I thanked him for the support. I thanked him for being a fan of me. And for the next 10 minutes, I was really in a state of shock. It's really something that I'm never going to forget. That someone randomly who I didn't even know came up to me, and he actually knew who I was. And I wasn't wearing my DJ Storm shirt. I was wearing a Bullfit shirt in tribute to Bull Debsey. But he just came up to me, shakes my hand, and I really couldn't describe to you how I felt. It really it really makes me happy to know I'm doing something right, and it really makes me happy that people out there, the right people out there, are taking notice. I don't just say Storm's Takeover for no reason. I say it because it's real. And by the way, we also have reached over 100 subscribers, so we're going to toast to that as well. So let's talk about the main points of Raw. Even though no one wants to talk about Raw in general. So Stephanie McMahon, she said that it's going to be Corbin and two of his partners versus The Shield. Ziggler, McIntyre, and Strowman, they were out on the stage and they were kind of egging on Dean Ambrose to turn on The Shield. So this was actually one of the good things about Monday Night Raw, and I give them credit for doing so. They were basically speaking the truth. Ziggler was saying how when Dean Ambrose was on SmackDown Live, he was a force to be reckoned with, and he was WWE Champion. He did it all on his own. He's saying that you don't need Rollins and Reigns. They're using you. They have everything. They're Intercontinental Champion. They're Universal Champion. You have nothing. So they're kind of egging on Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose just keeping a straight face. So the heel turn is coming. And I do have some news on that heel turn, actually. Brie Bella. Let me tell you something. I've been watching social media for the past couple days. People, if you're defending Brie Bella, I apologize. Nikki, for once, did nothing wrong, even though she's terrible in the ring. Nikki's fine here. I apologize. That's an insult to Nikki. Brie Bella. She's got ring rust. Oh, don't blame Brie Bella. It's not her fault. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. You're trying to compare Brie Bella to what happened with Seth Rollins ending Sting's career, or Samoa Joe, or what happened with Finn Balor, or what happened with this, or what happened with that. There's a huge difference. Seth Rollins and his incidents, they did not happen as frequently. Seth Rollins had a huge gap in between. Seth Rollins may have ended Sting's career, but he didn't go off and he didn't end someone else's career a week later. Matter of fact, the next time he would injure someone after Sting's little incident at Night of Champions was 1 year later against Finn Balor. Yes, accidents happen, but they're spaced out. Rollins can actually wrestle a match without botching. When was the last time Samoa Joe had an incident like that? That was the only incident that I recall. Samoa Joe was the only person, the only person to get involved in this whole Tyson Kidd situation. He ended Tyson Kidd's career, but that was the only incident that Samoa Joe has ever had. You want to bring up Shinsuke Nakamura breaking Samoa Joe's jaw. What has Nakamura done since then? Okay, 2 months later, he broke Austin Aries' orbital socket. Okay. What has happened since then? Nothing. Nothing has happened. He hasn't botched. He hasn't slipped up. He's not going off breaking people's jaws every single week. Those guys recovered from it. They came back better, and they rebuilt their reputation. You don't see anyone bringing it up now. That is an incident where accidents happen is fine. I'm not saying that they are going to get away completely scot-free, but all in all, those happened years ago. Those incidents happened 2+ years ago. 2+ years ago. Brie Bella, since she's come back, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, she has botched something in every single match since she's been back. She botched 2 suicide dives, she botched a pinning combination, she botched a running knee, which nearly took Zelina Vega's head off legitimately. I wouldn't be surprised if Zelina Vega had trouble sleeping that night. On top of that, she has one of the sloppiest looking missile drop kicks I think I've ever seen. And on top of that, she legitimately gave Liv Morgan a concussion. She legitimately gave Liv Morgan a concussion. And these things happened all in the span of 3 weeks. That's not ring rust. That's not accidents happen. That is Brie Bella sucking at her job. You can't compare what happened with Brie Bella to what happened with Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Those incidents were spaced out. Those incidents had time in between. Brie Bella botched something on Monday Night Raw, and then a week later, she botched something again. Samoa Joe hasn't had an incident like he has had with Tyson Kidd since then. That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. The reason why Brie Bella is getting so much heat is because it keeps on happening frequently. Even Seth Rollins didn't have it happen as frequently as he did. Yeah, sure, he broke John Cena's nose. 2 months later, yeah, he ended Sting's career. Yeah, but it's 2 months. And on top of that, a year later, he had the incident with Balor. 1 year, 365 days. Brie Bella has had an incident every week. 7 days. Big difference. If you are defending Brie Bella, you have no say in anything professional wrestling. You cannot defend Brie Bella. She's terrible at her job, she is sloppy, and she's proved to be dangerous. But yet you're going to have her compete in another match with Ronda Rousey against the Riot Squad alongside her sister? You can't defend Brie Bella. She deserves every bit of it. And it's WWE's fault for putting an unsafe worker in there. She has yet to improve. Ever since she's come back, she's screwed up something. There's a difference between her and Rollins, or her and Joe. Joe and Rollins have recovered from the incidents, and they have come back better. Matter of fact, they're safe workers. They're safe right now. They're proving to be safe. They are proving to be slick. They are proving to be coordinated. Brie Bella every single week has fucked something up. You can't defend that. If you do, you're either just a delusional fangirl, or you're just a moronic Bella's ass kisser. That's all I gotta say about that. Moving on to the second positive of the show. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler versus The Revival. This was a very good tag team match. Very good tag team match. Shows that The Revival have still got it. Shows The Revival, when they are given the opportunity, they can put on a damn good tag team match. And they damn sure did it. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler won. They continue their Raw Tag Team title reign. Hopefully, this is not the end for The Revival. Hopefully, The Revival do get another opportunity down the line, and they do become the tag team champs. The Shield then defeated Corbin and AOP, and that was basically the main highlights of Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, we had R-Truth and Carmella, Truth TV. R-Truth is the idiot with the talk show. How can you not smile at that? But anyway, The Miz came out and he was talking to Daniel Bryan about how Daniel Bryan is not in the mindset of do whatever it takes to win. Daniel Bryan doesn't have the killer instinct. Daniel Bryan doesn't have the smarts. Daniel Bryan doesn't have the will to win that The Miz does. And Miz says Bryan's never going to do it because he's going to forever tarnish the name of Daniel Bryan. Miz defeated R-Truth in a very good match. R-Truth, 46 years old, moving around like he's 25. Miz won with Daniel Bryan's running knee. And it actually looked pretty good. I got to give The Miz props for delivering a very good running knee. Rusev demanded answers from Aiden English. So Aiden came out and he was basically, he was dropping a bit of truth in there. Aiden English did make Rusev popular. Aiden English made Rusev into a superstar. Aiden English made Rusev the most popular superstar on SmackDown Live with the Rusev Day gimmick. There's a lot of truth in what Aiden English was saying. He was talking about Lana and how Lana just kind of started to throw Rusev off of his game. And he's saying how Lana is so honest, but are you going to tell him about that one night in Milwaukee? I don't know what happened in Milwaukee. You know, the only memory that I have of Milwaukee was when R-Truth mistaken Milwaukee for Green Bay, and they were chanting Milwaukee during R-Truth's match with Mason Ryan. That's how well I remember it. They were chanting Milwaukee. And they were chanting Milwaukee here as well. Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte earlier on in the show, and then she defeated Lana. So, Becky Lynch looking as dominant as ever. Becky Lynch continuing to be the hottest thing in the women's division on the main roster. AJ Styles and Joe had their contract signing, but Joe was not at the contract signing. No, Joe had other plans. Joe went to AJ Styles' house. Joe went to AJ Styles' house, and he was carrying a doll for little Annie. He was saying, this is going to be something, that you'll never forget. You feel helpless, AJ. That's how you're going to feel when I take the WWE Championship. He rings the doorbell, says, Daddy's home, fades to black. You cannot ask for a better ending than that. 205 Live. This show mainly had one major storyline going for it, and that was Mustafa Ali versus Hideo Itami. This was turning into a good match, but one thing I don't like, and look, I trust Triple H with 205 Live because Triple H is a genius when it comes to getting in touch with what wrestling is all about nowadays, but the match was paced a little too slow. I get Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami were telling a very good story, how Mustafa Ali is such a great babyface and this and that. But all in all, if you're going to put on a 205 Live before SmackDown Live, 205 Live isn't really at that stage where the fans are going to care no matter what. So you really need to keep the pace quick during the Cruiserweight matches to live up to the Cruiserweight name, number one, and to really get the fans excited. See what Cedric and Gulak did? That's what I'm talking about. That was a much better paced match than this match. This match ended when Mustafa Ali hit a 450 to Hideo Itami on the apron. So you know how Big E does his running splash on the apron? Mustafa was on the top turnbuckle. He did a 450 connected perfectly on Hideo Itami on the apron. I swear, I am not going to be surprised if Mustafa Ali literally hospitalized himself. He's going to hospitalize himself sooner rather than later. It is unreal how this guy is so smooth. I have never seen this guy botch once. Never seen him botch once. I've seen almost every Mustafa Ali match in WWE since mid-2017. And I've never seen the guy screw up once. The guy is something special. The guy is really world championship material. I'm telling you, Mustafa Ali, they got to push him to the Cruiserweight Championship after Buddy Murphy wins it at Super Showdown. The main points of NXT, Undisputed Era interrupted William Regal. William Regal then gave Adam Cole his rematch. Adam Cole was kind of getting in his face, and William Regal ended up giving Adam Cole his rematch. But it's going to be a triple threat match. In 2 weeks, it is going to be Adam Cole versus Ricochet versus Pete Dunne for the North American Championship. And you can imagine that is going to light Full Sail up. Light it up. And in 3 weeks, we got Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders for the tag team titles. So NXT putting on some very, very interesting, very hot and juicy television. And speaking of hot and juicy, Otis Stojovic, Stakes and Weights, he faced off against the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa in probably what was a very underrated match. Probably the most underrated match of the month. And Ciampa won. But Otis Stojovic, he proved to you that he can go as a singles competitor if they want to push him that way. Otis Stojovic, he's got potential as a singles competitor. Johnny Gargano will face Tony Nese in a week's time, so that's going to be a damn good match. EC3 then attacked Lars Sullivan during his match. We got that match next week. The Mighty defeated the Street Profits in a decent match. Kairi Sane defeated Vanessa Bourne, and Shayna Baszler invoked her rematch clause. It's going to be at Evolution. Next week, the Forgotten Sons will be in action. And then we had the main event in which Tommaso Ciampa defeated Otis Dojovic. So, overall, very good episode of NXT. News, rumors, and reports time on the Lightning Flash update. And in case you didn't notice, this is just kind of random, but yes, I'm wearing a Wildwood snapback. Wildwood, my vacation to Wildwood a month ago, it was great. I wish it wouldn't have ended. Really wish it wouldn't have ended. The amount of work that I've had to go through in the past month alone has been absolutely off the charts. But the news, rumors, and reports. We got some interesting ones. For those of you who did not catch the report from PW Insider earlier this week, former Impact Wrestling star and Mae Young Classic competitor Mia Yim has officially signed with WWE, and she will make her debut at an NXT Live event tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're going to the NXT Live event tomorrow, you're going to see Mia Yim make her debut. Mia Yim, I think she is going to be a big player in the NXT Women's Division. I can just imagine her versus Candice LeRae, or her versus somebody like Dakota Kai, or Lacey Evans, or Nikki Cross, or Bianca Belair. A lot to go into the women's division. According to Dave Meltzer, this is my second report, Dean Ambrose was going to turn heel on the Shield before he got injured. WWE now seems to be going back to those plans. However, it is unknown when the heel turn will take place. If I was doing this, I would have the heel turn take place at Super Showdown. Break up the Shield. They are of no use. Okay? It's just another pathetic attempt. Same old bullshit, boring, blah, 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 this and that, to get Roman over, yada, yada, yada. We've seen this before. It's happened time after time after time again. It's the same story, but with different people. It's the same story, but with different people. I mean, I could basically name you a list longer than Chris Jericho's 1004 holds list. Remember that moment in WCW? I can name you a list longer than that of how many times they tried to get Roman over. And they still are doing it. So by the end of it, we're probably going to have 10,004. Not 1,004, 10,004 ways. And each and every one of them are going to blow up in WWE's face, like they always do. Moving on. Oh, speaking of Chris Jericho, you New Japan Pro Wrestling fans are going to be happy because Cage Side Seats reported that Chris Jericho's return to New Japan Pro Wrestling is expected to come at November's Power Struggle show, where Evil, E-V-I-L, Evil, will get an Intercontinental Championship title shot. New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to be making moves with Chris Jericho versus Evil. And my final report of the day, or in this case night, because I'm recording it at night. You're watching it on Friday. I recorded it last night. According to the Dirty Sheets, Saudi Arabia officials want The Rock to appear as WWE Champion at the planned show Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, and they have offered to give $20 million for this appearance. I don't think WWE are going to do it. I wouldn't put it past them to do it, but I don't think they're going to do it. However, you need to take into consideration what's coming up. Crown Jewel is on November 2nd. October 18th. It's either October 16th or 18th. I think it's 18th. October 18th, 2018 is SmackDown Live's 1,000th 1,000th episode. Who created SmackDown Live? The Brahma Bull himself. Now, I realize that The Rock is probably not going to compete based off of his movie schedule, and the Hollywood officials don't want him competing, but I would not put it past WWE to have AJ Styles versus The Rock at SmackDown 1000, and SmackDown 1000 is the home of The Rock, and The Rock wins his 9th WWE Championship and goes into Saudi Arabia. That would not be a good decision at all. I don't care how much money you're going to make. See, what people don't realize about WWE is the type of company where the money's always going to be there. WWE is going to make money despite themselves. It doesn't matter what they do. You don't need to, go and get The Rock just to get $20 million when you're already getting paid $42 million for this show alone. Matter of fact, I think you're getting paid $42 million for every show that you do in Saudi Arabia nowadays. Every show. You're getting paid $42 million every show. What, you got to bring The Rock and completely take away this great WWE Championship reign from AJ Styles? You're going to have another CM Punk incident? You're going to have another CM Punk incident where The Rock ended CM Punk's reign, now he's going to end AJ Styles' reign? Really? I mean, I realize that it's probably not going to happen, but you can't say never with a company like WWE. Excuse me. You cannot say never with a company like WWE. I would not put it past them to actually go forth with The Rock defeating AJ Styles at SmackDown 1000, and he's going to go on to Saudi Arabia. Knowing WWE, they're probably going to work their way around this whole incident. So now we got to have The Rock as WWE Champion, Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion. I mean, it's bad enough that The Rock is already rumored to win the Royal Rumble and go and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 35 for the Universal Championship. We don't need him as WWE Champion going into Saudi Arabia just because WWE is a bunch of greedy sons of bitches. For real. WWE is a company where the money's going to be there no matter what. They will make money despite themselves. They're going to be fine no matter what. WWE has built such a global empire that every move that they make, they are going to make money. They practically get paid. Just to take footsteps. Every footstep that Vince McMahon takes, he's getting richer. That's how it works with a company like WWE. $42 million, you don't need another $20 million on top of that. This is why I picked Triple H to run WWE over Vince McMahon. WWE doesn't even realize that they could be making 10 times as much money as they are right now. They don't even realize it. But you know what? I think that's enough ranting and raving. I gotta save my voice for the Storm stream tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to comment down below. Do not forget to subscribe. We are over 100 subscribers. It is time to start the road to 200 subscribers. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheDJStorms. Do not forget to go and join the Wrestling Express group, not the fan page, on Facebook. Do not forget to follow Wrestling Express on Twitter at WExpressNation. Shout out to Tommy McGrogan. Shout out to Glenn Davidson. Shout out to all my fans and friends over at Wrestling Express. If you have missed my RescueMania 2 weekend, which includes the highlights and my reactions to RescueMania 2, produced by former WCW superstar Crowbar, that is going to be in the description, as well as my little post-show interview with the leader of the Payne train himself, Adam Payne. Go follow him on Twitter at WorldOPayne. It is world_O_Payne. Payne. His Twitter is actually in the link. It is a link, excuse me. His Twitter handle is linked in the description of the post-show interview with Adam Payne if you want to go check that out as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash update for September 28th, 2018. I will catch you tomorrow for the 5th annual special edition Storm stream. I hope you guys have a great day.